Welcome back to Heidelberg, everybody, and the third part of our trilogy. Today, I want to take you on a purely culinary adventure in and around one of Europe's most beautiful cities. I am so sad that this trip is starting to come to an end. It has been amazing so far, but because the previous two videos could not contain all the great food we've had without becoming feature-length films, we've decided to make this video a complete mashup of everything delicious we've had in Heidelberg. So let's set the stage, because any good mission requires clear objectives. And this weekend, I want to try something regional, traditional. I want to drink a lot of local beer for a change of pace. I want to check out all of the German wine we can get in this region as well. And because this city is so international and so student-oriented too, I want a really good brunch. I never get that. Now, it wouldn't be a very good German food tour if we didn't indulge in my favorite Germanic tradition, Kaffee and Kuchen, coffee and cake time. Filming these videos, I kid you not, maybe it all looks like fun and games, and it is, but it's also hard work that I could do with some coffee. This is really good.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Please do. The real star of the show isn't the coffee, it's the cake. And Heidelberg has two amazing little treats that I can't wait to share with you because frankly, I think they were engineered in a lab to make me happy. First up, we have the Heidelberger Pflastersteine, the cobblestone of Heidelberg, and it's incredible. It is a fine almond sponge cake with layers of nougat and marzipan covered in milk chocolate. That is dessert perfection, if you ask me. I'm so excited. And frankly, I don't know if I can share that with Camille.
You don't know how to eat cake together.
No, we really
That much is apparent. You're like two goblins fighting over dessert. Look at you, it's ridiculous.
We struggle to share desserts as is, let alone one that like I have a connection with. Next up, we have the Heidelberger Kurfürstensteinkugel, which also is quite similar to the cobblestone. It's gonna be that sponge cake. It's got an inner core of nougat covered in dark chocolate this time. And this one, I definitely do have to share with Camille.
Because I'm the dark chocolate fan here.
Exactly. Again, I am resisting the urge to just grab it with my hand and eat it like a caveman, but they gave us knives and forks. I guess we should put them to good use. It's time to eat, and I want to start with the kugel. Nothing like what I thought.
Really?
The chocolate nougaty filling, that tastes like how you'd expect. But this white layer, it feels almost like marshmallow fluff. It's like nothing. You bite into it and it just collapses. Now, you don't have the same sweet tooth like I do. You want to give it a go? I'm really curious to what you're going to think about it.
There's so much rigidity in that layer under the chocolate that I just wasn't expecting. It's a lot of sweetness though.
I feel like it pairs really nicely with a strong coffee. I think that bitterness being complemented by the richness, I think they work together.
This really wouldn't be my first choice. I typically go for like a fruity cream cake, but I can see why you really like this.
I love it. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, I need to cut this into a smaller piece. I feel like I'm overthinking this, but I really want the first bite to be perfect. All right, let's see how it goes. I was so worried the cake was going to be dry, but it's not. It is so moist. I love marzipan. That almond taste really gets you at the end because it's quite subtle, but it's definitely there. Milk chocolate is my favorite kind of chocolate anyway. This really was, it lived up to the hype. I thought it would be my favorite. It really is. I might need a second one. It's everything I would hope and dream for. But on that note, I think we're going to finish this in peace. You definitely need to come here. You definitely need to try this. Happy Kaffeekuchen, everybody. For our next food excursion, we needed something hearty and traditional, as we left downtown Heidelberg behind and adventured deeper into the Neckar Valley in search of lonely castle ruins and quaint, picturesque villages that just don't get the tourist love that they desperately deserve, a near-from-home specialty. So for lunch, we stopped by the town of Neckarsteinach to visit the Café am Geopark, a wonderful restaurant restaurant that also doubles as a free museum dedicated to all the wonderful castle ruins no one but us has seemingly ever heard of nor dared visit in person. So please do go check out that video if you missed it last week, as I think it might be one of my absolute favorites. Now then, for lunch. In a rare turn, Camille and I both got the same thing. Yet again, it was just too good to share. Traditional Schwäbisch Maltaschen. Exceptionally delicious little pasta pockets filled with herbs, breadcrumbs, onions, spinach, and a special meat filling. Though don't worry, Camille is still a vegetarian because they had a vegetarian option too that tasted just as good, if I dare say so. Germany can often be quite difficult for vegetarians, but this cafe made a huge effort to preserve such a historical and traditional recipe while simultaneously making it that little bit more accessible for everyone. Lastly, to wash it all down and end the meal in style, I did go for a classic midday beer. This time from Akrobräu, who produce a lovely Bavarian Helles, though what was not incredible was my pour. That looks tragic, and into a tiny Paulaner glass no less. In all, this cafe was such a surprise and a wonderful delight. Finding a place that cares both so much about the quality of its food and the unique history with its museum, I couldn't speak more highly of this place if I tried. If you come to Heidelberg, you owe it to yourself to make the 20-minute direct train ride over to Neckarsteinach just for this cafe alone. But don't worry, there's far more to do here. Next up, I want to show you the most surprising hidden gem of a pastry I think I've ever found in our entire history of travel. I'm not kidding. Continuing deeper into the valley from Neckarsteinach, Camille and I really did venture into the unknown on our way to the hilltop town of Dilsberg, a place neither of us knew even existed that morning. Venturing far off the beaten path to a castle ruin I had very recently found in a 19th century travel guide that we bought the day prior while filming our first and main Heidelberg travel video. What a find! As we made our way to Burg Dilsberg, we walked by this stunning cafe. I mean, look at that! Complete with one of the most enticing bakery sections I have seen in a long while. We had to change our plans and go in, even if it would put us behind schedule. The local baker was so talkative and recommended we try her personal favorite, the Bobbis, a short crust pastry with a silly name, filled with fruits and nuts with a dusting of powdered sugar on top. It sounded like perfection, and I picked myself up a cheeky chocolate chip cookie for the hike back down too. But before we try it, I do just want to say if you love travel like this, proper adventuring into the unknown and staying spontaneous to amazing hidden gems like this, obviously consider subscribing to the channel and supporting us so that we can keep the lights on and keep finding these amazing places for your next trip. Throw us a tip if we ever earn it, but also please don't forget that we offer custom itinerary consultations where we can hop on a Zoom call with you, go day by day through your trip answering any and every question you might have while making sure you aren't missing out on any hidden gems. Link on screen. And maybe consider recommending our services or this channel to your friends too. The more the merrier. I am so excited for you to try this.
I know, me too. A pastry from Baden-Württemberg, my first one. Mmm.
Is that good?
Okay, so I was a little concerned that this would be super hard and crunchy, a little bit like biscotti, but it's actually super soft on the inside. There's just a lot of awesome stuff going on in here. There are nuts, dried fruit, there's all of the sugar on top. It's kind of got that like old world charm going on with a lot of the sweetness coming from the dried fruits within.
Right.
But the powdered sugar on top adds a really nice sweetness to it.
This is a pretty beautiful place to have a snack as well.
I haven't seen this in many places in Germany, so when you're in the region, you should definitely keep your eye out for this. But for now, I'm going to enjoy this on our hike back down.
This town is absolutely stunning. A town, genuinely, I did not know existed. Something that I hope really comes through on this channel, something I hope you guys are understanding out there back at home, is that I need to wait for the DPD truck. What I hope comes across is that I'm just out here traveling with my hobbies. I love castle ruins and I love going on hikes, and I love those hobbies because I think they set me up for success. By going on these adventures, I can spontaneously come across these incredibly authentic places and have the kind of trip that I think so many of you out there really want to have. But really though, I think a lot of people out there, people on travel YouTube, people planning their trips, they want these authentic experiences, they just don't really know how to get them. For me personally, I want to spread awareness of these lesser known places, and I hope you guys appreciate that, and I hope you like and subscribe. Let's mix it up now, shall we? We have gone incredibly traditional so far, but what about modern Heidelberg? Well, as I mentioned in my first video, one of the things that makes this city so astoundingly amazing is its diversity. Heidelberg University was the first ever founded in Germany and has attracted top minds from all over the world for hundreds of years, continuing on into the foreseeable future. This has created a historical in its own right melting pot of so many amazing people coming together to study, to learn and create more than the sum of their parts. A quarter of Heidelberg's residents are active students, and over a third share immigrant backgrounds and have so for so long. It's amazing. So when deciding where we wanted to get brunch on our second day, we knew where we had to go. Leffe Cafe and Bar for some Turkish delights. Get it? If anyone has stuck around with this channel long enough to watch our epic Turkish coastal road trip of ruins, comment below. Either way, you'll remember how much Camille and I fell in love with Menemen. Popular on Turkish breakfast and lunch menus alike, what we have in front of us is a delectable concoction of eggs, cheese, tomatoes, peppers, Turkish sausage, and pomegranate, all served with fluffy bread to soak it up. This was just what I needed. And the coffee here, as you'd expect, was pretty fantastic too. In all, we have had a lot of Turkish menemen in our day, and yet one of the best we've ever had was right here in front of us now in Heidelberg, which just goes to show you the strength and vitality of its diverse communities. An amazing food. Now, I mentioned earlier that when coming to this region, I really wanted to try quite a bit of wine. Not a huge wine guy myself, and I never prioritize it. And I wanted to make sure we changed that when we came to Heidelberg. And one of the great things about coming in the autumn is we're here for the pop-up wine festival, Weindorf. Here in Karlsplatz, it's a pretty great location with the castle looming over us, just all of these amazingly beautiful buildings. Really nice. I do think the chill in the air has scared off quite a lot of people, but not near from home. I am drinking wine on this vacation, even if it's outside in the cold. I keep reading online that they say Heidelberg has a more Mediterranean climate, and honestly, I didn't quite believe them, but here's a Mediterranean-looking palm tree kind of thing. I don't know what tree it really is, but it does look Mediterranean and it's alive, so maybe there's some truth to that.
Servus. Eine kurze Frage. Trinke ich nicht so viel Wein, aber was empfehlen Sie?
So, möchten Sie Weiß oder Rotwein?
Ich denke Weiß.
Mögen Sie es eher so fruchtig, lieblich?
Ja, ich denke.
Dann würde ich Ihnen
Das klingt
empfehlen, einmal hier 3 Cuvée Christine
Genau.
oder hier einmal Kerner Kabinetten. Der Christine kommt so ein bisschen Geschmack wie Pfirsich.
Oh, genau, ja, sehr gut.
Dann ich habe eine Frage auch.
Ja.
Ich mag sehr süß Wein.
Sehr süß.
Ja.
Sehr süß wäre hier einmal die Nummer 4 oder eine kleine Rosé-Schorle süß.
Ja, ich nehme das. Perfekt.
That's a great idea.
Ja. That's why you asked.
You are a Radler girl, so you would be a Weinschorle girl also. Und danke für deine Hilfe.
Sehr gerne. Das war's.
Alles.
Unfortunately, it has started to rain, so we're gonna need to sit inside one of the tents, but don't worry, I'm sure the wine will taste just as good. I am so excited. This has been on my Heidelberg checklist to finally drink some wine, but unfortunately, I don't know how well I'm gonna be able to review it because I've got no frame of reference. I'm just like not really much of a wine drinker, though I say that. Me and Camille used to go every year back when we lived in Washington, DC, to the Mount Vernon George Washington Wine Festival. So I should be a wine person, but that was years ago. The cracked peppercorns, an oak barrel, truly a delight. I've no idea. It is very good though. I mean, careful. What I really like about going to wine festivals like this, little local pop-ups, is the fact that we were able to ask for recommendations. White wine was always my favorite, and I am in the mood for something a little fruity, but not too sweet, and she completely delivered. This is exactly what I asked for. I'm glad we could ask her because I'd have never picked it. It is really good though.
So now we finally had wine in Germany.
Finally. Prost.
Doesn't that seem really weird, associating wine with Germany?
But they do have a strong wine region, but it's just not what you classically think about, right? Think of it as a beer country, and in Bavaria it is. But out here, it's nice to have a change of pace. Plus, I love this glass with the castle and the vines. Very cool.
Oh yeah, that is really cool.
Shall we keep the fun?
Oh, how are we gonna get that back home on the train?
I really want to. It's so pretty. You can hear the faint sounds of oompa music in the background. Now it feels like home, even if it doesn't taste like it.
So I'm risking it all for you guys because sometimes wine gives me migraines. But I did bring an extra migraine pill because I didn't want to leave this region without at least trying some wine. I really appreciate that she recommended a Shorla because I completely forgot those existed, and it's probably just like the best option for me at this point. So it's just wine and sparkling water, kind of like a Radler, which is beer and lemonade. Definitely my kind of drink. So let's see how it tastes. Yep, I don't know what to say about it. I don't know anything about wine. That's so wine.
Is it taking you back to Washington, D.C.? Can you feel yourself on the lush banks of Mount Vernon looking over the Potomac?
Can I feel myself getting blasted at George Washington's house? Yes. So it's incredibly sweet. This might be worse for me actually because I don't think I realize how dangerous it is. Like I could see myself going through like 3 of these.
Oh yeah?
So don't let me have any more after this, okay? But it is really good. I'm really enjoying it.
That's all we know about wine. Isn't that just our luck? Right when we finish our wine and need to move on to the next activity, the sun comes out, beautiful blue sky, all the bad weather's gone. Time to leave. The weather really did get so nice all of a sudden. I'm so annoyed. For our last stop on this grand Heidelberg food tour, we visited Vetter's Brauhaus at the recommendation of the tourism office we visited on day 1 when we asked, where can we go for the best beer? Now don't get me wrong, the food was fantastic as well. Hearty potatoes and eggs for Camille, and schnitzel for me. Proper drinking food. Though, avert your eyes, Austrians. They did serve this schnitzel with a beer gravy. And I learned my lesson during our Munich food tour. You guys don't like gravy on your schnitzel, but, I do. The real showstopper, however, was naturally the beer itself. They offer a flight of 4 different beers, and I couldn't have been more excited to dive in and compare them all. It looks unfiltered and quite tasty. Yeah, that reminds me of home, all right? It's quite good, decently balanced. I would call that almost a perfectly neutral Bavarian beer. It's really good. I could drink about 20 of these, I think, maybe 30. The second in the lineup is a dark Weissbier. And any fan of the channel knows I love these, but I never get them. The last time was actually the smoked Weissbier in Bamberg. Yeah. I really like the fruity notes that you get with a Weizen. Frankly, the Dunkelweizen is always my favorite. I like this more than a regular Weizen beer. Not quite as good as the one in Bamberg, but very, very good nonetheless. Third in the lineup. Now this is very cool. Depending on when you come to this restaurant, this changes. This is the seasonal beer. We're here in October, so they have the Märzen. I'm very excited for that. Oh yeah, that's way more hoppy. Very, very hop forward. Maybe not to an American at least. Compared to the rest, compared to classical German beer, it's a lot more bitter. It's really nice. And lastly, perhaps the most famous beer here, the Feta 33, the winner of Strongest Beer in the World, 1994 edition, Guinness World Book of Records. And honestly, the one I am most intimidated by, I was worried I was gonna have to drink a liter of this, but I can handle 0.1. I've been to Stark Beer Fest, you've been with me. I can handle this, but see how it goes. You go back in time, you give this to some medieval monks trying to skirt the rules of Lent, they would love it. This is an incredibly good Stark beer. I could not drink a liter of it though.
Can I try some?
Oh yeah? You have had quite the devil with Stark beer.
I really have. Let's hope I don't end up... I'll not say what happened to me at the Stark Beer Fest.
You looked so put together in the Stark Beer Fest video until after the camera.
Oh my god, that is so strong. Do you want to try my Radler?
Oh my god, yeah. We have the Hue beer, a beer Hugo made with their Helles, drinking through a straw. That is very good. That is much stronger than a Radler, but it's so much sweeter as well, so it balances out, but you could do some damage with this. I mean, in a bigger glass. And that is a wrap on this fantastic food tour, everybody. And unfortunately, the end of my 3-day weekend and video trilogy here in Heidelberg. 3 days for 3 long and informative videos, man. We are tired, but I think we can all agree it was well worth it. From the classic sights on our first day, the amazing forgotten gems further in the valley on day 2, and every ounce of food we've had in between, this has been a real joy of a series, and I hope you at home agree too. If so, make sure you've caught up on those videos if you missed any, comment your support below if you enjoy my travel guides, and tell all of your friends and family. We need to grow the near from home travel community together organically as well. We know we can't rely on the algorithm to keep these lights on, can we? If you are looking for something else to watch right now, you're all caught up, but you're still in the mood for more travel food inspiration, then perhaps check out our Bamberg food tour, home of the historically accurate smoked beer. If you've loved this, I know you'll love that too. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, wherever that might be. A lot of good local beer, a lot of wine for a change of pace, and of course, the fourth fucking thing. What's the fucking thing? The rolly suitcases are closing in. It's a pincer maneuver of bad audio.
Also a car coming.
Oh my god, all the wheels! Jesus. Jesus. I would stop burning roll, but
No, they all have to wait.
oh my god. Why do we even allow cars in pedestrian spaces? Okay, here we go. Wait for this one, and we're gonna go. All right, here we go. So I was gonna record the intro to Weindorf, but I can't because there's a small child yelling across the street about how he doesn't want to go to Weindorf. It's very comical.